Today's episode of On Tap is brought to you by College Peep Show. Head on over to their website at repcps.com to check out their newest selection of hats, hoodies, tees, and drinking apparel. Use code ONTAP for 10% off your entire order. That's ONTAP, all capital letters, all one word. Back to the show.
Well, welcome back to another episode On Tap with the Boys. Today, we are on a very special episode today. It is not...
For two reasons.
Yeah, two very large reasons coming into this. First reason, we have a special guest. Second reason, it is episode 69.
Oh. Yeah, baby. We got Santa on for episode 69. A professional Santa.
A professional Santa.
You're going to make me blush.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get paid to do it. That's amazing. It's professional. And I can't wait to get into it and hear about it and learn more. And we also have a fill-in guy over here. Sam's back.
What up? Happy to be back.
All right. So crack some beers with us and we're going to get into it.
You are now listening to On Tap with the Boys, a podcast about beer, bad decisions, and bad friends, with your hosts, Cody, Tyler, Dalton, and Tucker.
All right. Today we have joining us Eric. How do you pronounce your last name?
Boman.
Which is a professional Santa for how many months out of the year?
Probably about 2.5, actually.
Wow. That's actually a pretty good season.
That's
a lot longer than I thought it would be. So Eric here is actually the Santa that did the photos with us for our Christmas card and the photos that we posted on Facebook and Instagram and all over, whatever. And so we were like, hey, Eric, you want to come on the podcast? We want to have you on for episode 69.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it kind of... My first question going into this is going to be when we did the photo shoot together and whatnot, we had a lot of fun and stuff, and I realized right after that you started liking our stuff and sharing it. So, like, do you really realize the extent of our content and what we talk about on here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I do watch, and, I honestly thought twice about coming on, but I figured that there's probably not too many 8-year-olds watching your podcast, so no. I figured it wouldn't be too bad. So
yeah, I think we'll be fine. Is that kind of the age gap that you're looking at? Your general audience is like...
No, pretty much, anything from, newborns all the way up.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
as long as they still believe, that's all that matters.
You go all the way to 25 years old. I know that.
Good deal.
Absolutely. And
Good deal.
At the end of the day, I mean, Santa literally cannot be in all these places at one time. So people like Eric fill in for him.
Absolutely.
And, portray his image in malls, in photo shoots and whatever. It's just not possible for him to be everywhere all at one time.
It's funny because, some kids actually do believe that I am the real Santa. And if they want to believe that, then I let them believe that.
And that's incredible.
I don't know. I don't go out of my way to say, yes, I'm the real Santa. But if they want to go that route, then, I do whatever I can to keep that magic going for them.
Oh, I think that's the right way to do it. 100%. So now, do you consider yourself a commercial or residential Santa? Do you ever go to like malls or businesses?
I go to businesses.
Okay.
I don't know if we can mention businesses, but I did Dennis Kirk's
nice
holiday party this year. There's a few decor boutiques. There's one right outside of Isanti, Northwoods Decor and More. I did there about 3 different visits there with them. They're a former Christmas tree store or farm. Okay. So they've turned their one building into a decor boutique, and they do Christmas 365.
Oh, nice.
So they have a big sleigh in the back and everything. So it was kind of, they reached out to me. Do a lot of daycares, do a lot of home visits.
Oh, yeah,
and then mostly, photographers. I worked with about 6 different photographers this year.
So that's actually how we linked up with you, was through Abby Procott with Focal Point Productions. That's Correct. Who we do all of our Christmas photos with every year. And that's how we met you. Now, you said last year during the pandemic, you did a lot of Zoom calls.
Pretty much only Zoom calls because we weren't allowed to, go out and see. Photographers weren't. Although I know a number of Santas across the country, and they had different ways that they could, get around the whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. Santa peeking in a window with the kids in front.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then, I'm outside supposedly and taking pictures, but a lot of the photo studios kind of shut down, I kind of thought, well, what can I do? I don't want to miss out. And then decided that try my hand at the Zoom thing, and I had never done Zoom before, so I had no idea what I was doing.
I don't think anybody did Zoom before last year.
Right. So
no doubt.
And it's funny, a funny story with that. My first Zoom visit was a family. And then I said, hey, see you later. Oh, Merry Christmas, and all that. And hey, thanks a lot, you guys. And I couldn't figure out how to leave the damn Zoom. And I'm sitting there, and I had some friends that had helped me do this, practice prior to, but I couldn't figure out how to. So I'm sitting there, oh, hey, thanks again, guys. And I'm looking at the screen, and I couldn't figure it out. And finally, this, 10-year-old goes up, Santa, on the bottom, there's probably a little spot that says end call or whatever. And I'm like, oh, there it is. So I got my book out, and I go, hold on. I said, I'm going to write this down. Did you help me get out of my Zoom? And I'll remember that for next year.
That's
and
funny.
Then I clicked out, and I felt like an idiot, but you learn and move on, and I made it a good thing for him. And
you flipped it, and you kind of used it to add to the allure and to the magic.
Right.
He helped you out, and I feel like a lot of your work is probably has to do with off the cuff, top of your head, just
It is.
rolling with whatever they say.
And kids ask the craziest questions.
That's one of my biggest things.
That's what we wanted to get into.
Yes.
What is like the craziest thing that a kid has asked you? Like, hey, Santa, I want my mom to,
Get a divorce.
get a
Right,
divorce.
right.
Or,
No, nothing
something
like
crazy.
that. Kid asked for a pencil sharpener this year.
Really?
And I'm like, okay, anything else? No, just a pencil sharpener. And I'm like,
Kids are way more PG than I thought they were nowadays.
yeah, no. Somebody wanted a camel. And I'm like,
Camel.
a camel. And I said, well, I don't know if Santa can fit that in his sleigh, but we'll sure give it a try. I don't know the elves have ever, given a camel before, but so, just crazy things, and then they want to test you. They want to, how do your reindeer fly? And if this does this, then how does that happen? And, and it's just, Christmas is full of magic is what I tell them. And it starts in your heart. And then it, goes out to everything else, and and I can't give away all my secrets. Of
Absolutely,
course, so.
yeah, you
Absolutely.
can't. You can't.
Never.
You cannot.
Have you ever had like a weird parent request to where they asked you to do something where you were like, I'm not comfortable with that?
No, nothing really that I'm not comfortable. Something that I found with another photographer this year that I didn't know was a thing was they were trying to get their young daughter to get rid of their pacifier.
Okay.
Time. You've aged up. It's time to get rid of that pacifier. And they brought it to Santa to clean up because other kids need a pacifier. So they brought it wrapped up in a present, gave it to Santa so Santa can clean it, sterilize it, and give it to
gift
another.
it.
And they left it there, and I found out that she cried the first night, and after that, she's been off her pacifier.
Oh, wow.
So,
Cold turkey.
yeah, so it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
So other than that, no, I mean, you do get some things, they want a baby brother, or they want, and well, Santa can't help with that.
Wow, maybe it can.
Mrs. Claus
So,
wouldn't,
how do you get started into being a professional Santa?
Well, mine started out just as kind of a whim. A guy I worked with, his wife was a photographer, and they said, we're looking at maybe doing a Santa this year, and I had started to grow my hair out and beard, and he said, well, hey, we were thinking about seeing if you would do it. And I'm like, sure, ask the fat guy, if he wants to be Santa, it's only natural, right? And so we did it, and she did a couple weekends, and we had, 14, 15, sessions booked, got a lot of compliments, got a lot of feedback. And the next year we did it, she more than doubled. She had like 30 something. And I'm like, hey, this might be a thing, you know? So, and then I just started talking and networking, and then COVID hit. And then, so this past year, I wasn't going to miss out again, now that everything was open. So I just flooded photographers with emails. Absolutely. I probably sent out about 100 something of them. And I probably only got about 20 responses, but I found 6 that I was able to work with. And
Fantastic.
That's still a good ratio, honestly.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been doing this then?
About 5.
About 5 years. And like after you did that first photo shoot and like you realized that like you can do this, did you just fully embrace it? And like have you shaved since?
Oh, I haven't shaved. No,
you haven't shaved.
I let it grow out, and I wanted to get thicker, so I'd trim it. you know, but then, you know, it just grows back a little bit thicker. So
Yeah, but you've completely embraced it in your
absolutely.
whole life now, and that's awesome.
We live in a log home, so it's kind of like Christmas 365 at our house. You know, we still have our stuff up and everything.
That's
know,
awesome.
I haven't gotten the missus to do the Mrs. Claus thing yet, but she will eventually. She just doesn't know it yet, you know.
Yeah.
But she'll do it. But no, I embrace it when I go out and about. The cool thing for me is going out and about. I could be in Target or I could be someplace, and little kids stare at you, and little kids give you that look, you know,
like suspecting.
And I slowly, you know, one of the fun things I do is say they walk around the aisle, so now I know they're in the next aisle, and I'll give a little, that's right, honey, or something, you know, and then they peek back around the corner or whatever, just to, you know, so it's fun. It's fun, but I do embrace it,
because you just always you always look like Santa.
I do.
It's so natural. It's incredible.
I appreciate it. That's the goal.
That's awesome. But going back to the pacifier thing, we've been trying to get Sam to quit nicotine, so maybe he could gift you his Juul. So that you could save it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one's happening. maybe next year I'll give it to Santa.
There's some other
it's
kids
never
that
too
need
late.
Juuls.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about the biggest request you could ever ask.
I put him on the spot here. But we'll sterilize it and we'll gift it to other kids, Sam.
Sure.
It's for the greater good.
It's probably got about 400 puffs left on it. It would really make another kid pretty happy.
Okay.
You're kind of talking me into it.
But like, so you said that the kids say the darndest things, and you said the pencil sharpener. I have a hard time believing that that's the craziest thing that they've,
You know, if they're not scared, then they ask for what's trending, basically.
I suppose they're pretty nervous.
Yeah, they're nervous. You know, you get both. You get some that scream bloody murder.
Yeah.
Other ones that, you know, they run and jump in your arms, you know. And some of the ones that have screamed, you know, by the end of the session, the photo session or whatever, they're sitting with you and, you know, they're loving it. So, but there's really not a lot of crazy requests, you know. It depends on, you know, how their upbringing maybe too, I guess, monetarily wise. You know, you can tell who has money because what they're asking for versus,
that's a good point.
You know, doing certain daycares even too, you know, you can tell that, you know, certain kids are a little more well off and other kids aren't well off, and they ask for something a little more simple because, you know, they know they're probably not going to get that expensive stuff, and vice versa. You know,
that's crazy.
I
never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I bring has a child ever asked you for a firearm before?
No, but it's funny you mentioned that. More Nerf guns, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And are you thinking back about a few years ago with the Nerf guns? And
no, I asked Santa for a shotgun when I was like 6.
Okay.
And I got it because
right, because it was Santa.
Santa got it for me. But I was just wondering, you know, as with my older age, what was going through that Santa's head that like this child sitting on my lap asking for a firearm?
There's certain things I don't promise. You know, expensive electronics. Pets, obviously, you know, and I may tell, you know, iPhone, you know, the new iPhone, you know, whatever, blah, 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 12, whatever it is.
Grand Theft Auto.
Well, yeah, you know.
Try to steer clear.
But no, it's because I tell them, you know, Santa doesn't always know, you know, there's a lot of work into those things. And I don't know if necessarily you're responsible yet to take care of a puppy. And it's not fair for your mom and dad to take care of the puppy when you wanted the puppy. Yeah. So I try to do a little parenting in there too. And then, you know, the other stuff. But going back to guns, you know, Nerf guns, you know, kids every year ask for Nerf guns. Yep. And Santa's rule with a Nerf gun is if you get a Nerf gun, everybody in the house gets a Nerf gun.
And you fight.
Because, you have to be able to defend yourself, you know. So
that was actually our rule with machetes when I was a kid.
Hey. All right. Well,
hand in hand.
If one person gets a machete, we all got to go to Staymart, the truck stop, and we all got to go pick out machetes. You know?
Right.
I like that.
When I was actually a young kid, my grandma was telling. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not that young, but my grandma was telling me this story about my my aunt and my dad were going to see Santa. and they were pretty young. I think like maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. And Santa asked my aunt, "What do you want?" You know, simple. I want a Barbie, whatever. Asked my dad, "What do you want?" He's like, I want a Tampax, because then you can swim, you can hike, you can play tennis, you can all this crazy stuff. You can ride a horse." So I asked Santa for a Tampax.
Oh wow!
Did he get it?
I don't know. Unconfirmed.
Wasn't a good boy that year.
Unconfirmed. Maybe he's on the naughty list. Hey, speaking of that, when we were doing our photo shoot, that list, Abby had a big list written out of the nice list, naughty list, and I noticed that the only thing on the naughty list
On Tap with the Boys.
was On Tap with the Boys.
Right.
Yeah,
That was a list provided to me. Santa didn't travel with that list that day, so
So you're saying it was forged?
that might be a forged list. Yeah. So
Wow.
But from what I've seen, you guys, teeter that line between.
Yeah, I'd say we teeter the line. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. You got to do that's showbiz. It's showbiz,
Absolutely.
baby.
Right.
So you ever get any sticky situations with any stepdads?
As far as
Like, hey, you're just too close to the kid and the mom. You're too close to my son. You're too close to,
No.
whatever. Does anyone ever get
No,
weird with you about that?
I think about that, this day and age,
So you're conscious of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
when
yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm not going to do anything out of pocket.
Well, right. And sometimes, when the photographer says, "Hey, can you put your arm around, whatever," I make sure I'm not touching them. And, and I.
The Keanu Reeves approach.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so I do think about it. But, no, I mean, of course, I would never do anything like that.
Right.
But, and no, there hasn't been. You get some parents that are over the top, and Abby could probably tell you more stories about that. But
I would imagine,
one
yeah.
did this and fixed that. No, hold on just a second. And here, Santa,
Right.
your jacket's, a little whatever. And I'm like,
Whatever.
okay,
Just
all
take
right,
the
yeah,
picture.
I just go
My
with
dad's
it.
kind of like that. My dad is really particular about photos. And it's like, if someone's taking the photos, he's like, no, let me take the photo.
Right,
Let me
right.
get in there.
Oh,
It's all
he's
about
that
composition and, big into color and, whatever. You stand this way, you stand,
Right.
he's good at directing.
And I just let the photographers deal with that.
Absolutely.
Because that's
Yep.
not, I'm just there.
Yeah, I suppose,
picture
like,
with Santa, yeah.
they'll let you know if something looks
Right.
awry.
Right, exactly.
That's funny. So I noticed you, before we had you on, I asked you what your drink of choice is. McGolden Light.
Yeah.
You said you're fine with McGolden Light. What is truly your drink of choice? Are you a big winter drink guy? Eggnog, peppermint schnapps?
More of a Crown Royal.
Really?
actually. Oh, yeah. Crown on the
Yeah.
Rocks.
Interesting.
Different drinks made with different, Crown Apple and Sprite. Just
Well, that's
kinda,
good.
There's the Crown Apple and cranberry juice isn't too bad. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jack Apple, cranberry apple is with
Santa
cranberry,
gets
so-
lit.
Oh, yeah. Not as
So-
much as I did when I was your age.
I feel that.
So the reason why I bring up the drinks is we actually had a bottle of some perfectly on brand peppermint schnapps donated by Unlimited Masonry. Our friend Sam Vasinik has a masonry business. If you need any brickwork or anything like that done, hit up Unlimited Masonry in the Pine City area or in the cities, whatever, whole Minnesota. Maybe he'll even go to Texas. Who cares?
Yeah, give him a call.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to talk about this or if it was just going to sit here and just look all pretty. Sam brought this up. Or brought it in.
Sam Vasinik brought it in. Sam Chris delivered it here.
Yeah.
I'm just the
I'm
messenger
gonna go
boy.
grab some tiny cups here so we
Yeah,
can
grab
maybe
some tiny cups.
take a little bit of
Oh, yeah.
the
be
A little,
fantastic.
a little nip of schnapps.
get in the holiday spirit.
Oh, yeah.
I know Jake Jake had a pretty serious question that I really enjoyed.
Was it the music one?
The
That
music one,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So I had a question for that. So being that you're surrounded, I'm sure you're in all these malls, you're in all these places. I'm sure they have Christmas music going on all the time. Do you get sick of any specific songs, or are you like, do you hate Christmas music now that you've been doing it for so much, or do you actually like it?
No,
Least
not
favorite
really.
song?
I mean, I pretty much embrace, the Santa thing year round. I'm not in Santa mode every time, but no, I mean, I know it, when I start hearing Christmas music, it means that I got to start working a little bit harder now,
Yeah.
but I don't get sick of it. No, I mean, there's certain songs, of course, that, just like anything,
Mariah Carey.
well, that one gets a little,
Oh, All I Want for Christmas
Yeah.
fucking slaps.
It's a slapper. I
I could
absolutely love
listen
it.
to it every day.
I feel like that's the one song around Christmas time that is like creates polar opposite opinions. It's never anyone's like, it's an all right song. It's either I love that song or I hate that song.
Right.
There is no in
Definitely.
between. So all throughout, basically from the day after Thanksgiving all the way up until like New Year's, I will play that at the bar if we're playing pool or whatever. You know,
Right.
I'll play this Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, and people just get heated. I've had bartenders just completely shut off the jukebox on me.
Yeah, you've gone on big stretches. You love doing the touch tunes where you just play the worst songs ever and just make everybody mad in there. You're really good at it.
Oh, that's my game too. I love
doing
throwing
it.
on a song that everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
I love doing that.
Or
I love doing that.
if it's the like not middle of the day, but it's a little later in the afternoon, and it's just people casually sitting around, and then I'll just play like Molly Cyrus or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's
That's
like,
the
"Who
best.
played this?"
That's the best. Yeah, and
Trolling.
or playing Christmas music in the off season. Oh boy, I put way too much.
I literally
got like a
lost
quarter
track.
glass.
I got like half a glass here.
I got no.
I
cap
lost
over
track
here.
of what I was doing.
All right.
I was talking.
All right, Santa, do you have any good cheers?
No, I don't normally do the cheers. So
No, that makes sense. That's totally fine. I have a good one from a good buddy of mine. Shout out Nolan Rector. Learned this one here when I was like 13 years old. Here's up to it. Here's down to it. If you get to it before I do, if you get to it before I get to it, and you don't do it, then leave me to it because I'm so goddamn used to it.
The best way to spread holiday cheers is sing loud for all to hear.
We should have done that one. That was a way better cheers.
I did it anyway, so it's in there.
So we're in the talks here with our buddies from Rush City Auto. They just bought a limousine,
A limousine.
and they want us to do what? What do you point out?
Beer.
Oh, they want us to do an episode in this limousine. What do you think about Santa maybe getting in on an episode in a limousine?
I told Cody, I said, do we need to get Santa in it this week? Like, let's take the limousine for the Santa episode.
100% was trying to. However, it's not ready. So it's mechanically, they need to fix something. But the interior looks immaculate.
Yeah.
It's going to be an ungodly perfect episode.
Yeah.
You know what that makes me think of immediately is, have you ever seen the commercial where it's like, Santa's got a brand new ride and it's nice. It's nice. You ever seen that one?
Was that a car commercial?
Like
Yeah.
a Lincoln.
Was it for a brand?
Oh, 100%.
It was like
Was it
like
Toyota
a
Thon?
rental company, I think. Oh, it was Toyota. That's what it is.
Toyota-thon.
Yep.
Because I remember
Yep, it was
I would
Toyota
see
Thon.
it all the time, and I'd get that Santa got a brand new ride. My little kid, as a little kid, I'd just be singing that all over.
See, that's the thing. I never really paid attention to what Toyota was doing because I always celebrated Honda days.
Yeah.
So-
I was a big Chrysler fan in my household. So
Respect.
Honda days and Toyota Thon were just big no-goes.
You're all about Trucktober.
Yeah, Trucktober.
Ram Power days.
Yeah.
right.
Unreal. You ever get when you're doing these home visits, do you ever get people trying to get a demonstration of how you sneak around? Or how do you like the logistics behind Santa?
No, because the parents of course know. So it's the kids that want to know, and
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Okay,
I guess. The
so-
kids saying,
so,
"Hey, show
yeah.
me how this works." Or
yeah, and again, I revert back to the magic. If Santa gave away all his secrets, then it wouldn't be fun anymore. It wouldn't be. I have my magic key, of course. I don't know if you guys know the magic key, but
No.
If you don't have a fireplace, Santa's got a magic key that can get into your. And nowadays you kind of have to tell them it only works on one day. So
yeah,
Santa,
right.
there's not a key
Otherwise they're
floating
like,
around.
"Oh my God."
Yeah, there's not a key floating around your house, for somebody to come in. But yeah, so I usually wear that on my belt, and it's a good conversation piece too.
Is it like the old skeleton key or
Yep.
what? Oh,
yep.
nice.
It's an old skeleton key, and so they ask about that, and then I can just whip out the key, and it makes it a little bit easier. We don't have a chimney. How do you get in? Well,
Yeah, that's a perfect out there.
Santa's got his key, and where are the reindeer, like going to daycare visits and things, they want to know where the reindeer is. Well, Santa brought his reindeer out all the time. Everybody would want to see him, and I'd never get anything done. I couldn't visit with you guys because somebody would be out there looking. So I usually fly them into an airport someplace, and then they watch them, and then I just kind of borrow somebody's car.
Yeah, put them in the hangar.
Yep. They're in the back part of a hangar, and they watch them. They can get some rest while I'm out talking to kids like you guys.
I love that. I've never heard the magical key aspect of things.
Oh yeah.
When I was 7, we moved into a really old house, and my parents put a HVAC system in the house. And I was really young, and I was with the furnace guy, was putting the furnace in and stuff. And I vividly remember him telling me that, yeah, this is the exhaust pipe. This is the pipe Santa's going to go in to get in your house. And I sat there for so long. How the fuck is Santa gonna fit in that thing? Right? It's like a 2.5 inch PVC pipe.
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm like, man, you should have went the magic key aspect of things.
Well, don't worry, right? You know.
Yeah.
So looking at me, I'm not gonna fit in a 2.5 inch pipe. That's for sure.
So now you were telling us that you're pretty well versed in Santa lore and the culture. You were saying that there is classes that you can take to become a professional Santa.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you give us a little insight into that?
Well, I haven't read too much into the classes on what but it's more like if you were to go to a performance school or something.
Yeah.
A lot of Santas in the off season are either DJs, they're clowns, they play clowns, they're magicians, they do birthday parties.
They're
and
professional
events.
entertainers.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what these Santa things are, is to maybe teach you a little bit more, different
Ways to diversify your portfolio.
Right. And
make money in the off season.
Right. And how to answer those questions when kids, I worked in the restaurant business for 28 years, so I bartended and things like that. So I figure I'm pretty quick on my feet.
That's all
and stuff like that.
entertainment anyways.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly. So I'm pretty. So am I going to go to professional Santa school? Probably not. But I do brush up on things. I've got books on how to be a better Santa and things like that. So I do read up on those. There's different. I'm constantly looking for, like, the daycares. I read stories to them. So everybody's heard 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and How to Catch an Elf and stuff like that. So I'm constantly trying to find some other books that I can read to them, but yet not be not take me 25, 30 minutes to read a book.
Read up
you know?
on it.
Yes.
So now is there big, you were talking about on Facebook, there's big groups of Santas that network and kind of talk together. What gets talked about in these groups? Like, what is the benefit of having essentially your competition in cahoots with each other?
So like Shriners or the Masons or whatever, it's like a brotherhood kind of thing. So that's what these Santas are brotherhoods.
Illuminati.
Right? Huh?
The Santas are actually the one that control the world. I've said this once, I'll say it before. You control the present supply chain and you control the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it could be. No, but just like in all things, you do your job, but there's somebody better than you, and there's somebody that doesn't do it as well as
Right.
you, and so you look at some of these Santas, and my girlfriend says all the time, she's like, I hate that you do Santa. And I'm like, why? And she goes, because I look at these other Santas and they're like not even close. You're the real Santa, not that guy,
Yeah.
As a kid, I have seen a few of those, and it's
Aren't they?
like
Yeah.
unsettling.
I've definitely seen some shitty Santas out there.
Yeah, and I don't fault them because they're trying to do the same
Yes.
thing. They're trying to, all they want to do is bring joy to people and things. Now you might get a random, mall Santa
In it for the money.
right? Just in it for the money, or don't really care, But most of the Santas in these groups, they talk about how to get better gigs, how to different outfits that you wear, how to increase, almost like the school. They just talk amongst each other and try to help build the craft, I guess.
Tips and tricks. Now, hear me out. This scenario of a Santa maybe being lactose intolerant, how detrimental is that to a career as a professional Santa?
Well, Santa doesn't always have to have milk, I mean, you can leave out other stuff, just like, everybody thinks the reindeer, like carrots, which they do.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, you read your crowd, of course, just like, but just, just like when you're bartending, you kind of read your crowd, but, I tell them, carrots are good for the reindeer, but it kind of gives Rudolph the toots, and Santa's behind Rudolph, and, so he likes apples as well,
Absolutely.
So you don't always have to leave milk and cookies. I saw one where they left tacos and a bottle of Patron, So I'm
nice.
like, I wouldn't say no.
Hey, Margaritaville.
Exactly.
Was that at Jimmy Buffett's house?
Yeah, it might have been. That was just something I saw on Facebook, but still, they left out tacos and a
That's incredible.
bottle of Patron, So I'm like, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, kid wakes up in the morning and Santa's just face down on the floor and the
Right?
Patron bottle's empty.
That's funny.
So
Yeah, Santa likes Golden Lights and Snickers bars, actually. So don't bother wasting on them cookies.
well, back to the Zoom thing, doing the Zooms. The cool thing about Zooms is, okay, so picture this, kids walk up to you, like let's say you're at a mall or I'm at the daycare or something. Ideally, Santa should know the kid's name.
Yep.
And stuff like that. Well, it's kind of impossible for Santa to know everybody's name at the moment. The Zoom stuff, I get parents to send anything and everything about their kids. So then I can utilize that. So when I rattle off their teacher's name or their dog's name, or you still have Sparky the elf that comes to see you, that you should see their faces that they're like, wait, Mom, Sparky.
Yeah.
They must lose it.
Yeah.
They do. It's amazing. I had, people will send in, okay, well, I have Johnny who's 3 and I have Mary who's 5. And well, Emily, she's almost 10 and she's kind of not believing anymore. Send me the most information on her.
Yeah.
Because then, and I've had a good friend of mine, her niece was at that age where 10, 11, where she wasn't believing. And I said, send me anything and everything. Dad's a cop. Mom was a nurse. This was during the COVID, the big COVID stuff. So, cops are getting a bad rap and the nurses are going through all the stuff with COVID.
Yep.
So I said, send me anything, everything, as much as you can. And at the end of our visit, she FaceTimed her aunt, my friend, and she goes, Aunt Karen, I can't believe he knew this and he knew that and whatever. And then I did a Christmas Day one with her that tell me what Santa brought, a purple sweater and a red bike and whatever. So I did a Zoom. Hey, I just want to, how'd you like your red bike? And she, oh my God, Santa, this was awesome, So anything to sell that magic, and that's what I.
So I've seen a lot of posts this last Christmas season talking about how parents were actually pretty mad that they were putting like their high ticket items that they were giving kids as from Santa.
Exactly.
And so like they were saying, don't put these high ticket items, because then if they don't get these super expensive things that their friends did, they blame it on on the experience.
Exactly.
Are you also in that same way of thinking?
Oh, I am totally in that way of
100%.
thinking. Kind of goes back to the puppies and the new computers and the iPhones and stuff like that.
Firearms.
Yeah, your neighbor, right? Firearms. Your neighbor gets one and it was from Santa, but
You didn't.
Sally got a Barbie and a Barbie dream house.
Even the playing field here.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not fair to the kids either, because they're expecting that from Santa.
Yeah.
So
one kid gets a pencil sharpener and the other kid gets a
that's what he
Tesla.
wanted. So that's what
True.
See, my parents had no problem blaming it on Santa. Like, if they didn't want to get me something, they made it clear, like, oh, Santa didn't want you to have it, apparently.
When I was a kid, I asked for Pokemon Silver for the Game Boy, right? And I didn't get it, like, during Christmas. That was the only thing I wanted. And I don't know if, and maybe that just wasn't around at the time, supply and demand, I don't know. But I ended up getting it in the mail, like, God, it had to have been at least March, like April maybe. It was long after.
Long time.
With this huge note explaining, hey, sorry for the delay. I just couldn't find it, whatever. Signed Santa.
Awesome.
I was like, okay, that's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was great. That was the best Christmas ever.
That's the longest that Christmas has been like in your head ever. Like Christmas took up half a year of your life that year.
No, when I didn't get Pokemon Silver for Christmas that year, I was devastated.
That's why they got it for you, because you're like, this kid's a brat.
I went
for 4 months.
No. I went into full on depression. Full on. It was the only thing I wanted. It was the only thing I wanted. Everything I opened. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I was grateful for everything, and I'm sure I faked it a little bit, but I was devastated.
So your parents were like, we got to get this little fucker this game.
Like, the kid hasn't talked in 2 weeks. weeks.
He won't eat.
We got to find this video game, you know. This was kind of pre-internet too, or like, you know, pre my parents' age range really knowing the internet real well. So I'm sure they found it on like eBay, you know, because it was like wrapped up in like notebook paper. It was wrapped up in the note itself in the mailbox.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, they really worked hard to find this.
Right.
No postage.
Totally dodged the postal system.
Illegally placed it in the mailbox. Santa
Right.
illegally dodged the USPS. This is why the USPS has never turned a profit, because Santa's just delivering direct
For free.
Right.
Yeah. Unreal.
That's
There's a
the
market
thing.
you're missing here.
That's the thing. You skip the USPS, you don't have to pay taxes either.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine you charge 10 cents a house. I mean, that's some real money there.
Yeah.
Mr. IRS is on the hunt for
Exactly.
Santa. So I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you know what? I'll go ahead.
Okay.
I had a question that I wanted to ask, if the fact that this is such a, like, it is a job to you, like, in Christmas, like, if it's ruined Christmas for you. But I know that from talking to you already that Christmas is extremely magical to you and you love it every year.
You know, it wasn't as a kid. You know,
Okay.
it's kind of crazy. It wasn't as a kid. I'm an only child. I come from, never met my dad, so I don't, I have no, I know where he is. I know what his name is. I've reached out to him a number of times, but never, I've got an older brother and sister, half brother and sister.
Okay.
And a younger half brother and sister that I've never met, you know. So that's kind of tough. So my grandparents, my uncle would always send stuff to me. So that was, you know, the big thrill, getting that big box, you know, every year. We'd have our presents and open it up Christmas Eve. So I don't come from a big family. Actually, the last name, the Boman name, ends with my kids, you know, with me. So there's no other Bomans out there. But, you know, it wasn't as a kid, but now I've embraced it so much that it is a magical time for me. I look forward to, you know, how can I make it better this year? How can I reach out to more kids? How can I, you know, the photographers, we kind of talked a little off air. I always try, in my wardrobe and things like that, I always try to, you know, improve that every year. And it's not cheap.
Oh, I believe that.
It's, you know, having a custom made vest is $200.
Oh.
You know, having a robe is $1,000, you know,
Yikes.
custom made. So, I mean, you have to.
You should ask Santa for it this
I know, I
Christmas.
should. Who does Santa reach out to, you know?
Yeah, good point. China?
GoFundMe, I guess, maybe.
Follow the money.
But no, it's not cheap to be as authentic as you can be, you know, but I embrace it so much that I have ideas going through my head left and right, you know. We've got about 40 acres, my mom does. I want to get reindeer.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
I do.
And then you just have people come right out to you. Hey,
I want to have 4 or 5 reindeer.
Oh, that'd be great.
And she's around Knife Lake, but she's got about 40 acres out there. You've seen the eagle cam, you know, where they the little eagles hatch and stuff like that. I want to do a reindeer cam.
Oh, that'd be great.
Santa's out there in his red overalls and
Oh my gosh.
Go to
so
every day and just feed
genius.
them and stuff. Oh, that would be amazing.
You know, you know, so trust me, I've got all kinds of ideas that I want to do. But
Talk about content for your marketing on social media also.
Oh, yeah.
That's year-round marketing right there.
Yeah.
That's, hey, I'm going out feeding the reindeer right now. I'm going out doing this. I'm going out doing that.
You can Twitch stream that.
Yeah.
My fiance is only 5 feet tall.
Okay.
Right? So if you need an elf for hire, like,
you know, we've even thought of what's the name of the place over in Wisconsin? Sam's Christmas Village or something.
oh yeah, I
It's
know what
that
you're talking about. I just
huge-
heard about this year for the first
Yeah,
time.
me too. But you know, so it's there's the Santa and there's this Christmas Village and they sell their different wares and stuff like that. Excuse me, we wanted to try and do our log cabin as Santa's cabin. There's a guy in Michigan that does it that I know for sure, where you bring your camera and you come out and visit with Santa and you take as many photos as you want in your 15
Interesting.
minutes. So we wanted to set up, you know, and have this destination place, but then I saw Sam's Christmas Village, and I'm like, I can't compete
Yeah,
with that.
they're
I can't
close.
compete with the one in Duluth,
Right.
or whatever.
Bentleyville.
But, right,
Yeah.
exactly. But I can do other things, and I can, the photographers I work with, if I can get reindeer, imagine taking pictures with, you guys next year with reindeer, not that that's going to happen, but,
great.
right, exactly. So, the trucks that I was telling you about off air, I want to rent, I got 2 trucks that I'm fixing up right now. I want to rent to photographers, but, I want to drive around in Santa's truck,
Oh, absolutely.
and have people, I want to be known
Parades.
as a Santa.
How many winter parades are there?
Right,
You know,
exactly.
A lot.
Be amazing.
So I want to, I kind of want to be known as the Santa in this area.
The Santa.
Right.
Yeah. So your name on Instagram is Santa E.
Santa E, yeah.
What's the E?
Eric?
Oh.
Do you really just figure this out?
I was thinking for some reason my mind is on Hot Topics right now. I'm thinking EV. I'm thinking electronic, Santa electronic for some reason. I don't know why. That's where my head was at. So I'm like, oh, this guy must just be like really big into social media. I'm thinking Santa electronic or something.
Well, in the Santa world, it's weird seeing Santa Thomas and Santa David and Santa.
Yes.
So I didn't really want to be Santa Eric. That doesn't really flow off the Santa E.
Yeah. No, Santa is perfect.
Pretty quick, pretty easy. It flows right off the tongue. So
Are you on TikTok at all?
It's short.
I
too.
am not on TikTok.
Okay. That is one platform I recommend to you.
If you figure TikTok out, you can figure it out. It's incredible.
Okay.
Easy to go.
Well,
big.
and I told you guys too that I do dabble a little in woodwork, so I have thought about setting up a camera and just Santa working as a workshop and whatever.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
100%. Oh, that'd be so cool.
I think the Twitch streaming and stuff, the streaming aspect, like you're talking with the reindeer cam, would be huge. You working in your
Electric.
workshop, you feeding your reindeer,
Right.
It'd be crazy.
Right.
Just for,
electric.
even if they're
Yeah.
little videos that are set up to make it look like it's live, and they can show their kids these, that'd be huge.
Have you looked into the logistics of this? How much is a reindeer? How much is one reindeer? Like, if
I've
we just
read up
wanted
a
to buy
little
one.
about it. I haven't really, off the top of my head, no, but I have read into it and what it takes to raise a reindeer and how many acres you need and things like that. So they're pretty. They like to live in pairs, So there's, you need 2 or 4 or 6, an even amount. But so it's. I've looked into it, So,
Cool.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Wow,
but,
that's nuts.
I know a really sketchy guy that we could get you a reindeer. For
Oh, yeah?
cheap. No, I'm just kidding.
I know a guy who knows a guy. Right?
Yeah, I know a black market reindeer dealer.
There's a big one up in North Dakota, a big farm actually that sells them. So
Okay, I think I might have been to that because I've been to a reindeer farm before, but I don't know where. I'm guessing it's North
got to be
Dakota
North
somewhere.
Dakota, yeah.
Because that would make sense. My
Yeah.
mom's from North Dakota. Yeah, interesting. We could get Tyler riding one for our next Christmas card photo.
Yeah, what's their payload capacity?
I'm not sure.
I don't
but we
think
can
very
figure it
much.
out.
Yeah, I was just out in Montana in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Love it.
They have there's this massive like elk farm, and that's kind of the closest thing that I've seen, where it's just like 1,000 freaking elk just on the side
Sure.
of this hill.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I thought
Yeah,
of.
they're caribou basically is what they are.
Yeah.
The reindeer, so but there are 2 or 3 farms I think here in Minnesota. I don't know if they sell them, but they raise them. But yeah, the big one I think is in North Dakota. Closest one is in North Dakota. So.
That's wild. Wow. That is crazy. I couldn't fathom pulling up to a photo shoot and this Santa spitting image is sitting there with reindeer, the whole shebang. That would be electric.
Yeah.
Santa electric.
Well, here's the issue, though. All the kids are going to want to see Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph has too much responsibility. I can't bring Rudolph everywhere,
Yeah.
You're the master.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows how to spin it.
You can't. Rudolph can't be everywhere. So he wouldn't be ready and able, so to speak, if I took him everywhere. So
Yeah, his nose wouldn't shine so bright.
how I'd probably spin it would be these are the backups.
That's a good idea.
Because
The B team.
you've got Dasher and Dancer and all that stuff, but you'd have to have backups.
They're young.
just in case.
Yeah.
Right? They're learning.
They're in training.
right.
That's like me and Sam, like 3rd, 4th string quarterback.
Right.
They keep us on the back burners.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
in case you
definitely.
needed. Yeah,
Just waiting for the call.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, as long as you can portray that and get the magic to the kids, that's literally all that matters. And keep it going. I mean, that excitement. I can, as soon as you mentioned saying these experiences, I remember as a kid feeling this.
Right.
And it's incredible. It drives you.
The other thing I'm trying to figure out is another angle that I'm trying to spin, and I'll probably put this out there and somebody will figure it out before me. But imagine the gifts that you get from Santa, that you have a picture of Santa with those gifts.
Okay.
So, i.e.
So like to further prove this is where they came from.
So my girlfriend has a granddaughter. We're originally from the St. Louis area, and she hasn't seen her granddaughter in quite a while. But we take the pictures that are from Santa, we take and I dress up and I take a picture of them with that present. And then as we wrap that present, we put that photo in there. So it's from Santa.
Yeah.
And here's Santa holding it.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she literally said to my girlfriend's mom when she opened it this year, she said, Mom, Grandma, that was a real Santa. You know, look he's holding my present. You know, it really is from Santa.
Yeah.
And just to take that magic even that much further.
Oh, that's so cool.
So to somehow try to figure out if we set up in, like, you know, whatever, a store someplace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here, take a picture of Santa holding your gift or whatever.
Yeah. They buy the gift at this place.
Wherever
they buy
it is,
it,
right.
they then take a picture with you, and then you like take pictures wrapping it or whatever.
Right.
And they go home with it. That'd be incredible.
Yeah,
That's
so that's another thing that I've got spinning in my head. So I got so many ideas. So many ideas.
That is so cool. Can we lock you down for next year for our next Christmas card?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
And if you, anytime you need somebody here, if you need, the limousine thing, I'm down for
All right.
anything.
We got this was our third year of Christmas cards, and by far the best shoot.
Awesome.
Best results from it. This
Yes.
year I put a QR code on the back that when you scan it, it goes to our website.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
I think that was kind of a good play.
Right.
It cost way more this year. This was by far the highest expense of any Christmas card shoot, no doubt. But
it was worth it.
Totally worth it.
I love the hype around it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're kind of getting close to the end of where we normally record too. Is there anything that you want to plug before we leave here? Where can we find you on social media? You said you have Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, so I don't even know what my Instagram is because I don't.
I think it's Santa_E.
Yeah, it could be.
I believe it's that.
Santa_E.
You follow our page.
Yes.
So
yes.
on Instagram, if you want to find them, go on our followers and
We don't have that many.
and search Santa.
Well, and I don't post much on Instagram right now anyway, but my Facebook page is Santa E and his MN Minnesota MN Workshop. Okay. So
got it.
It's got pictures of all the photographers I've worked with, some of the woodworking I do and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and just, and again, I'm not super technology savvy or whatever, computer savvy, but I do my best.
Well, I say this
wrong
to
with that.
absolutely. I meet a lot of people, and I say this to everybody that like has the drive and passion that you have. That if you have any questions about social media and stuff, just call Cody.
Yeah.
I don't know shit, but Cody he knows everything.
Well, I
about
am
that.
looking to set up a website, so if you know of anybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll stay in touch.
He can make you a website for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Of course. No, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
This was fantastic, and we got pre-show shots again. So
Great.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see you again next week, guys, on episode 70. A little bit less climatic, but honestly, it's going to be a good one.
Thanks for listening to On Tap with the Boys. Be sure to follow us on social media and stay updated. Tune in next week for another episode about Tyler's problems.
What are you thinking, Sam? What's going through that head of yours?
Honestly, I can't believe we're at the end because I was just so interested in the questions we were asking him that I thought it'd been like a half hour.
Should we go to the cricket?
Ooh, that's a good